Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Wonadidi's channel. As you can see, we are back in Kakamega. And this incredible space was built by a friend of mine. And this is actually my trip too, down here in Kakamega. The first time I came here was just to check it out, see what's going on. But today, I'm going to show you three new things that they've done. And it's just exceptional. I've just been told there's a brand new man cave behind me that I need to go check out with almost like a full game room. And up there, they've added a few pieces of art. And then, most importantly, they've actually just converted the space behind here into additional spaces that I'm going to show you. And I'm telling you, folks, you've heard me talk about what people do with homes when parents pass on. And in my view, I think this is probably one of the best ideas I've seen. And I'm going to feature a couple more homes, just showing you what folks do after their parents pass on. So my friend's house is actually right behind me right here. And then over there, behind it, next to it is where the parents used to live. And of course, over time, people pass on. And when that happens, we often end up with some beautiful spaces with not much else to fill them with. And so my friend decided to convert this into some really good property that is up for grabs if you're looking for a place to stay in Kakamega. So I'm telling you, this place is beyond phenomenal. So today I'm going to show you the new things I didn't show you in the first video. And if you missed the first one, I'm going to post the link on my channel. Go check out the first version. And this is round 2. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. So come with me and let's check out the new sections they've finished since the last time we were here. All right, let's go. All right, friends. So if you watched the first video, this is Cate's Heaven in Kakamega, which is in Western Kenya. And Kakamega is literally about an hour or so from Cate. So I'm back here again showing you some of the incredible work that diasporans are doing in the village. So this is actually the main side where I think it has like 3 bedrooms. And so today I won't show you the whole of it. If you want to see all of it, you gotta watch my first video. Just look at how neat this place is. It's not very big, but it is so well done. For me, I actually came here to just steal ideas that I'm going to apply in some of the projects that I'm doing. So I'm just going to show you the living room area, but if you want to see all of it, check my first video. This place is incredible. And as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video, this is the house that previously used to host their older parents who are now long past. And so what they decided was just to extend it so they live in the same place, but on the side of it, this is now turned into a short-term rental option. So come with me, let's take a look at the man cave, which is right here. And you'll notice that all across this place, they have this beautiful locally made African art. And I didn't realize that many of this actually sold right by the road, that you could simply pick them up. But I think it takes a person with a special talent to put these things together. If you had me do this, there's no way I would be able to put all of that together. So this man cave has a pool table, has like lounge area, bar seats, some lighting, just enough lighting in here. But I thought maybe one other thing they could add was maybe a refrigerator with a section with drinks. But they also have, I believe that's a dart board by the corner. But it's just one of those places that I'm thinking if you're here with a full family, some guys would just be chilling in here. And even, especially when it's raining out, you could easily entertain yourself in this spot. And so, folks, there are many ideas that folks apply with these relatively dated homes that are no longer in use. I've got clients who simply demolish their old parents' home and use it for something else. In fact, there's a building I'm building right now that replaces one of those old family homes. Some people bring it down and then do something with it. But then other folks choose to repurpose it. Now, in our case, like my grandparents are already passed, both of them. And so the home is as is. Personally, I would like to preserve it as is without messing with it. The only challenge is that I'm a grandson. I'm not one of the sons. And so it is possible that the sons might have different ideas with what you do. But in this one here, not only have they created space for short-term rental, they're also planting a lot of food, which you'll see, especially if you stick with me till the end of the video, you'll see how they've done a really good job doing food court down by the last section. So as you saw on the past 2 seconds, They have planters that are meant for flowers, but in this case, they're actually using them to plant. I believe I saw onions. They have sycoma and a bunch of other things that I don't really know. But this entire compound is just littered with fresh organic food. Now, I don't know whether guests can help themselves to that, but I would imagine they probably won't say no. Now, the last time I was here, this pergola was not there. And again, this is built locally. Nothing imported here. Built locally. They brought furniture that I believe from the nearby carpenters. And I think the only thing missing here is that they need to put some kind of a glass top or a plexiglass, something that will allow you to enjoy this space even when it's raining. But it's coming along. This is still work in progress, but my God, if you're here in person, it looks far much better than the video does it. In fact, I always say that videos don't always do justice, because on the left side you have the sitting area, and then on the far right you've got this sort of like a barbecue area that again is just built by local fundis. Usually I always say stay away from local fundis, but for some reason this particular property has used local fundis and they've come together so well you wouldn't even know that they got this from the local shops, especially this outdoor furniture. In fact, one of the plugs I got coming out of this place was where to find outdoor furniture built locally and done really well. Because again, most of the local furnitures that are done in the village are usually full of manywanda. But as you can tell, this thing looks exactly as you see it. The locally made outdoor furniture are really, really good. So this is a new addition that I didn't show you in the first video. They have both a one-bedroom unit, which is what I'm walking into right now, and then beside it, you have a two-bedroom unit. Again, every single thing you see here is locally made. Nothing is imported at all. And so when you look at the seats, my sense was that I initially thought they actually got this from Nairobi, because in Nairobi, you can always find locally made furniture that are acceptable. The ones in the village, I've always had bad luck with anything done in the village when it comes to furniture or things that are done by local fundis. But this is done well. Now, here's the secret to Cate's haven. It turns out that my friend here has a very beautiful daughter who is in charge of this property. And she's the one who is putting all this together in terms of the ideas. Of course, she's working with her mom and all that. But this, the idea of putting local pieces of art here and there, this is her daughter. She's very beautiful and she has very creative ideas. I was just surprised that when she went to college, apparently she did nothing to do with, excuse me, nothing to do with interior design. Because initially, when we were conversing, I thought this is what she went to school for. But it turns out, no, she just has an eye for good things. But as I always say, when it comes to interiors, many people wing it. You just see something nice somewhere, you buy it. Like you see a nice chandelier, you bring it in. You see nice bed sheets, you bring them in. You see a nice carpeting, you bring it in. But if you don't know what you're doing with interiors, most likely you're going to get it wrong, because then you end up with a whole house that is not coordinated at all. But this young woman who is putting this together really is just naturally talented. Never went to school for this. And so I don't know if she is available to hire for interior design. It's something maybe I might ask her later on. But she's done a really good job. So this one-bedroom unit has the bedroom side, and they've sort of created a space for an office space. So that I'm assuming if you are in Kakamega for a short stay, possibly work-related, you can still hire or rent the whole space, so that you have the bedroom on that side and then you have the workspace on this side. And the nice thing too, they have high-speed internet everywhere in the compound. And one of the things I noticed is that almost every single space has some kind of a Wi-Fi extender. For those of us who live outside Kenya, that may not mean much, but I learned pretty quickly that if you're going to install internet anywhere, you always need extenders, especially for those who have big homes. For some reason, internet doesn't seem to it's sort of very accessible in every corner of the house if you are using the local connections. In fact, recently I tried one of these options that are being sold by a guy whose name I will not mention, because he's one guy that I don't enjoy, but he does sell access to internet. But when I installed it, for some reason, there are spaces within my house, especially as you move further away from the router, there are spaces that don't get internet. So what they've simply done is just to install different extenders everywhere. So you have access to internet both within these rooms and outside. You could be sitting on the patio, you could be sitting on the outdoor sitting area. You still have access to high-speed internet. So friends, well, I'm really, really impressed. So this is the section here. Now we are going to walk out, and then I'm going to show you the two-bedroom side. And then from there on, we're going to look at the garden so you see whatever else they've done with this space. In fact, for some reason, they've built on a hill. And the way they've done it in such a way that they've stepped it down, at, I think, almost 4 different levels. And each level is flat. So the one thing that they'll have to do differently is just make it more accessible for people who use wheelchair. And I know in general, in Kenya, for the most part, I think we still have a long ways to go when it comes to making spaces accessible. So the structures themselves are very accessible within. But on the outside, we still have a few steps that will be adjusted to make it a lot more accessible to people who need wheelchairs. Yeah, again, as I said, this is now the two-bedroom part. So if you ever come in town and you have a bunch of guests, you can rent out the first space that has 3 bedroom, and then you have the second space that has 2 different units. The first unit is 1 bedroom, and then the second unit is 2 bedroom. And again, just little things here and there that just makes this place feel very unique. The one thing that I also liked about this space is it's exceptionally clean. In fact, honestly speaking, this is probably the cleanest B&B that I've seen in a while. So in the garden section, you'll see a range of fruits. In fact, I counted at least 10 different types of fruits or plants. And of course, for those of you who think bananas come from the store, this is where we get them. And then, of course, you have organic mangoes. And I'm taking my time just to make you jealous, so you can want to come and join. And these are some of the things we enjoy in the village. And for the most part, you simply plant and put like animal manure. And next thing you know, you have fruits more than you need. And so, like, again, I don't know for sure if guests have access to the food down here, but I can only imagine, I don't imagine them saying no. If you ever wanted to grab a couple of mangoes or bananas or sugarcane. Oh, and by the way, she also keeps bunnies on this side. Now, my sense is that the bunnies are not for food. I've seen this now a couple of times and I don't see any numbers changing. So it's probably the case that she's just keeping them as pets. Look at the tomatoes. Not even a single chemical used here. Just plant, put animal manure. Oh, and by the way, I've been told that rabbit urine is really good for fertilizer. How that works, I don't know yet. But if you have rabbits, please don't waste their urine. I'm told that thing is really good for manure. Again, for those of you who think sugar comes from the store, this is what sugarcane looks like. At least one of the many varieties that have been planted here. My sense is that this is probably either watermelon or pumpkin. I can't tell yet. Now this is ndoma. I don't know what ndoma is in English. Somebody who knows will tell us. Now this, the one before was aloe vera. And what do you guys think this is? I'll probably give you a second to guess. What do you think it is? This is lemongrass. The smell is just something else. To me, it just reminds me of the many, many days that we used to enjoy tea using lemongrass. So that's pawpaw. And I think there's a bunch of, this is loquat. And they have quite a few of those. These are young loquats that are still growing. So anyway, folks, I think I've talked to your ears enough. Thank you for listening. And if you're curious, if you want to stay in Cate's heaven, the number posted below, reach out to them. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.